So how do you find balance in your life when you feel a bit imbalanced? I always feel balanced because I've been doing this lifestyle so long now. I don't see it as a diet, I see it more as a lifestyle. And when something becomes a lifestyle, then it's easy to balance. It's like a bicycle. If you're just walking down the street holding the front wheel, your arms sort of get tired. You're holding this front wheel, but if you've got the bicycle, the pedals, you've got that balance out of lifestyle. It's not just your diet, it's the way you think, the way you stand, the clothes you wear, how you interact with people. It becomes like this whole bicycle, this whole wheel, of life. So I find that's easy. When people just, like I'm guilty. I used to focus just on diet. I'd be up at 3 a.m. reading books, wouldn't do any sport, just diet, reading, and that was cool, but it made me out of balance. Because then my fitness went down, I wasn't sleeping enough, I wasn't having enough social interaction. So everything serves a purpose, but to have balance, it takes trial and error. That's what the first thing I tell people when I see them really focusing on food, I go, that's good, you know enough about food, but what other areas in your life can you do better in? That's why I didn't have children, because I know my life is not to have children. I had a vasectomy when I was like 25, 26, because I knew that having children in my life, for me, I'm not saying for anyone else, but for me, it wouldn't work for me. I knew that from an early age, so I'm like, snip it. So I find if I had children, I would get the fur baby Figsy, but, it's not like having a child. Because children, if we had Figsy here, Figsy just sniff around the park, comes back to you, but when you've got children, you've got to educate them, and it's just, having children is the biggest responsibility on the planet, and I knew that that's not for me. My life is about helping people help themselves get fit and healthy, and at the same time we save the animals on the planet. That's what I do, that's my life purpose. So I knew that early on, so I'm like, how can I align my goals? What do I have to do to accomplish that? For me it was no children, no 9-to-5 job, no TV, things that were just taking up too much time in my life. So I always feel in balance because I know how to get enough water, I know how to get enough sleep, I know how to get enough carbohydrates, I know how to train, not too much, not too little. But sometimes you have to make mistakes, sometimes you have to go too far to find out how far you can really go. Sometimes you have to screw the nut a little bit harder, and then when it snaps, you're like, oh, too far. Yeah, but unless you don't screw that nut too hard, you'll never find out how hard you can really go. So I've done a lot of trial and error, made a lot of mistakes, snapped a lot of nuts, snapped a lot of bolts, and I've learned from a lot of other people's mistakes as well, which I encourage people to do. You don't always have to make your own mistakes. You don't have to own it to learn it. You can learn from other people. Like the guy who died yesterday. I know that I'm always going to wear a helmet when I'm riding around. Now he was on a motorbike, he's probably speeding, but life's precious and short, so I learned yesterday from that guy's death that avoid taking crazy risks, So you can learn from other people's mistakes. But the sleep, water, sugar, that's why I harp on about so much, because that's the fundamental. When you get dehydrated, you're out of balance straight away. When you don't get enough sleep, you're out of balance straight away. When you don't get enough carbohydrates, you're out of balance. That's the most three fundamental things. That's everything. I can be the most positive person, but you get me dehydrated, I don't talk to anyone here. I'm like, I've got to go, I've got to get some water. But if I didn't know that, I'd just be like, you guys are a bunch of idiots, And then tomorrow I go, sorry for being like that, I don't know what's going on with me. It's getting all emotional. Maybe it's my chakras out of balance. And so I go, yeah, you come to my course, be $800 for a day, we'll get your chakras realigned. Water? No, you don't need water. Get that from fruit. So that's why I say sleep, water, sugar. Learn about those things. Drink enough water so you're peeing clear every 2 or 3 hours. Eat enough carbohydrates. 10 grams of carbs per kilo of body weight per day. 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day. As a baseline minimum, to start with that and see how you feel. Keep your fat as low as possible, under 30 grams a day. Be a bit more clear in the head. Sleep. Get to bed as early as possible. 8, 9, 10 p.m. If you can't sleep, just put an eye mask on, lay on your back and relax. Think about grateful things. And then we got those things worked out, you're a lot better. Like if me and Freely have an argument, we basically say, hang on, is one of us undercarbed or not enough water? What time did you go to bed last night? There you go. So I can pretty much tell on the phone after a couple of seconds talking with Freely what's going on. She went to bed too late, or she hadn't eaten enough, or she was going to go for a bike ride, now it's 12 noon, and she's like on the internet still, and her posture's like this for 5 hours. You're not going to feel good. Or if you're walking around town, you've got a handbag on, and it's a bit hot, and you're just like, you're really on edge. You're out of balance. Then you just drop the handbag, put the shoulders on. Backpacks create balance. Handbags make you out of balance. Low carb diets make you out of balance. High fat diet makes you out of balance. Dehydration tweaks you out. So how to find balance when you're out of balance is just focus on your sleep, water, sugar. How's that your fundamental? And go from there. I see it all the time in the yogi scene or the spiritual scene. Don't eat too much food, you know. Is Peter here? Peter? It's not here. Pete was here yesterday and he was saying that, you know, I'm not sure about Harley, it's too much food. But I'm like, you know, you won't get much done in life if you think you're eating too much carbohydrate. Because it's like going, the grass is too green. It's just too green. You know, and that's the whole, you walk around and you go, look, the grass is too green. It's not working. The sky's too, you know, you know, you're trying to fight nature. You're always going to be like just in a psychosis. Just carb up and go from there.